Let's move on to phase two of the Elementor website course. We're going to be looking at an e-commerce web store, and we're going to be using WooCommerce. It's one of the most widely used e-commerce solutions for WordPress. There are many others, Surecart, FluentCart, and many. You can go and have a look for them and do a search or a Google review. You'll find lots of pros and cons as to what to use. WooCommerce has stood the test of time because it is quite reliable. Now, it's not the most easiest to use solution. I mean, there are lots of settings you do have to go through, and you will find that the bulk of what we're going to cover is going through the settings and making sure everything is in tip-top shape. But what we really want to be thinking about when you are doing an e-commerce store is that it isn't just something where you add in a plugin, activate, and then just go about building your website. A bit like the blog, the dentist, and the accounting website, we have to stop and think about the structure and the strategy and what is the point of the website, what is the funnel. The blog website was all about reading blog posts, and hopefully maybe you'll have some advertisements or banners where you may get some monetization. For the local business dentist website, the funnel was all about hoping that you're interested in the services, build up trust, feel that we can work together or we can help you out, and then you're going to get in contact. The professional accountant website, which could still be a local business as well, was about building even more trust in that you will book them or use them for a much more higher costing service. Now, that kind of strategy and that mindset with where you are now going to pay out a big hefty amount of money relates to e-commerce stores as well. Why should I buy my products from this shop when I could go elsewhere? The point of an e-commerce store is the funnel for them to buy something. Now, it's very easy for you or a client to decide on an e-commerce website. And like I said earlier, you go and load up WooCommerce and you think that you just add in your products, do all your fancy colors and branding and everything is okay. When it comes to e-commerce, the things that make people slip up is when they haven't thought about it long and hard in terms of their structure and their strategy. Now, a WooCommerce website that we're going to build is predominantly going to be about the products. We're not going to waste time explaining all of our services or where we're based or how big our warehouse is. You can have pages for that explain your distribution or your facilities or how you do things. You can do that, but they are minor pages. What's really important is your products. So have you actually got good images or photographs? Have you got consistency in your images in how they look? Have they all been taken with different cameras and devices? Have they got different backgrounds or have you got a consistent background? Have you considered your pricing? And is it going to be a consistent price for all of your products or will there be variation? Maybe you're selling t-shirts and your red t-shirt costs more than your blue t-shirt, for instance. You have to think about these things. What about the taxes? Are you going to have a consistent tax rate and you're going to include that in the price? Or will you have the product price and then you'll have the tax added on separately? Because if you're selling globally, your UK tax is going to be very different from your US tax. And when you get into the US tax system, then you got to start thinking about state taxes as well. Will you have free shipping? Can someone locally pick it up? Or will there be different rates, again, if you are supplying globally or within the same country? But you could have a same product. You could have a t-shirt, but this t-shirt over here, they are the same price, but this one is really heavy. This t-shirt weighs 5 kilograms, whereas this one is 100 grams. So even though they are the same price and they're going to the same address, because this is 5 kilograms, you might have an additional price that kicks in. A lot of people kind of slip up and don't quite understand. They think about shipping zones and prices and, like I said, local or maybe have a flat rate for shipping. But you can also have classes as well, which means that the price can actually go down or up depending on a particular product. And then you got to think about your payment gateways. Now, a long time ago, people might have been accepting cash or a check, which isn't the best way to do things. A lot of people started using PayPal, but then we had groups of people that didn't like using PayPal or they didn't have a PayPal account. So then people started using Stripe. So you had Stripe that allowed you to purchase using a Visa or a debit card or something. But with PayPal now, you can have express checkout as well. So if you haven't got a PayPal account, you can still buy something without having to sign up for PayPal by putting in your debit or your credit card. So we're going to be using PayPal for this store. And for those of you that have been wondering, the store is going to be called Vlog Pro, and it's going to be around vlogging equipment. So people that want to go out and record videos for YouTube or TikTok or streaming. Other things you really should be thinking about, and this all forms part of the structure and the strategy of an e-commerce store, is that when you do know your products, what is the name of the product? What is the price? Obviously, I've mentioned that. What is the description? What are the keywords you're going to smuggle in? What is the category of the product? Will there be subcategories? Will you have a brand? Will there be tags that go alongside it? So, for instance, for a camera, let's just say we had a product called Camera 5000. That's the name of the product. The tag for it might be recording equipment, video recorder, YouTube streaming. Because when people are searching on Google or anywhere else, these sort of things will help them to find your products. Then you got to think about your attributes. For t-shirts, a size is an attribute. And then you might have the colors. Flavor could be an attribute because maybe you're selling drinks and then you might have chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Because we're covering vlogging equipment, we could have camera as the attribute. And then inside of there, you might have DLSR, mirrorless, iPhone, things like that. To start to structure this all out, because when you come to build, and this is really, really important, and you're going to notice this as we start to build, and I'm sorry for the length of what we're covering here, because this is important. We are going to set up the website, which I've already done in terms of the blueprint, and I've added in my colors, and I'm going to show you that in a moment, and my font, but we're not going to start designing or building the header or the hero banner. Nothing. First thing we're going to do is get WooCommerce installed, and then we're going to go through the setup. Then we'll get the payment gateway set up. And we're going to make sure that all of the things that I've mentioned, like the tax, the shipping, make sure we understand what we're doing. Then we'll build out the categories, the brand, the attributes, if there's going to be any custom fields, all of that has to be built out so that when we now get on to adding in the product, we've got all of the setup done. And we can now just pick as we want this category, that brand, or this variation. You want to make sure you've got that set up. And then we will build one product and we will test it out. We'll just set it as $1. And we need to know that the payment gateway works. Because believe me, there is nothing more worse for you or your client if you spend 1 to 2 weeks building out an amazing website, and then when you start adding in all of the other settings and the gateway, it does not work. My advice to a lot of you is get the WooCommerce bit in and get that all set up and working. And once you know that works, then you can rush on with getting on the header, the hero banner, adding in your loop grids, your shop template, your single product template, and any other pages you want to do. Because now you know that you're building something where something that what you want them to do in terms of purchasing works. In the next video, I'm going to show you the setup of our shop website before we add in WooCommerce, just so you understand the branding, the images, and the fonts.